Okay, now we're going to talk about how to reflect points over the y equals x line and the y equals negative x line. So first thing, let me explain what those two lines are. Now you already know what the x and y axis are, right? We know that the x axis is this one, and we know that the y axis is this one up here, which I can't drop down. Now the y equals x line is a slanted line. It's actually 45 degrees right through the x and y axis, sort of like right in between. And actually it has a slope of +1. And then the y equals negative x line is this one that goes the other direction, and it has a slope of y equals -1. And so you just have to learn how to reflect something over this line or over this line. That's basically what you're going to have to do. Now all of this is very confusing because it's sort of hard to imagine what these things are going to look like. And like I told you before, don't try to guess what the image is going to look like. Don't look at it and go, oh, I just know it. I'm just going to count this many spaces over and I know it'll be a reflection. That's just not going to work. Instead, just remember the rules and trust the coordinates that you come up with, because the steps are graph the pre-image, convert the coordinates, and graph the image. So let's see. They give us 3 coordinates, so let's graph that pre-image. We have -2, 5, which is right here. That's going to be A. Then we have -2, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is up here. That's B. And then we have -7, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then up 5, which is here. That's C. There you go. So you have a triangle. Now we're going to graph this thing over the y equals x line. And hopefully you remember, and if not, that's okay, because now you're going to learn. You're going to learn. Hopefully you know that in order to reflect something over the y equals x line, all you got to do is switch the points. So for example, we have -2, 5. That's not a 5. That's a 5. We have -2, 5. We're now going to put the 5 over here to make this 5, and then this becomes -2. You just switch the points. 5, -2 from -2, 5. So let's write that example up at the top. We now have from -2, 5. Sorry. Now we have A prime is, instead of -2 first, then 5 second, now it's 5 first and -2 second. See, they've just switched places. That's a y equals x transformation or a reflection. B prime, instead of -2 then 8, it's now 8 then -2. And then C prime becomes 5, -7. Sorry, they're not very neat. I'm not good at this yet. Okay, now it's maybe even hard to completely imagine what it's going to look like when you reflect it over this line. But let's just graph the coordinates that we came up with and see what happens. We have 5, -2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -2. This is now A prime. Then we have 8, -2. That's going to be here. And that's B prime. And then we have 5, -7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right here. C prime. Now it may be really difficult to imagine how this reflected over and became that, but it doesn't matter. All you have to know is that you changed the coordinates correctly up here. As long as you change the coordinates correctly up there, and graphed it correctly, of course, then you're going to get the right answer. Even if you can't visualize what happened, it doesn't matter, as long as you know that you have changed the coordinates correctly. Okay, so let's actually start with 3 more coordinates. Okay, now we're going to reflect something over the y equals -x line, which, as we discussed before, goes up in a slanted direction. It's a negative slope in a slanted direction. So let's see what that would look like. Now the rules for this is not only do you flip the points, so I'll write this down here, not only do you flip, but you also change both. You change both signs. So let's see what we would have if we did that. So you already know how to flip a point. We know that A prime, if we just flipped it, would be 2, 6. But, like I always say, you flip first and then change. Don't do it at the same time. So here, we've already flipped the points. Now I put my pencil back down and then change them both. A lot of people want to do it in their head because they think they can do it in their head. And sometimes you can, but Never ever do it, because the other sometimes that you can't is when you're going to get it wrong. So, okay, here we go. So now you're going to flip this so it becomes 2, 1. Go back, change the signs. -2, -1. Then you have C prime. Switch those 2 points. 6, 9 becomes 9, 6. And of course you change both of those coordinates. Alright, so now let's graph the original pre-image. We used to have 6, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. Then we had 1, 2. And then we had 6, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which is up here. So we have our A, B, and C. Connect those. Alright, now we've converted our coordinates, so let's graph the other new set of coordinates. Now we have up at the top -2, -6. -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is A. We have -2, -1. Which is, oh my god, why does it keep doing that? B prime, oops, forgot the prime, and then -9, -6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 6 down here. C prime, connect those 3. Alright, and again, it looks very weird. How is it that this one, ABC, can reflect over the y equals -x line and become this one, A prime, B prime, C prime? It doesn't matter. As long as you converted the coordinates correctly, which hopefully I did here, then you're going to get the right answer. And there you go.